Welcome back to Screen. It's a great achievement for any TV drama to reach 7 seasons, particularly an Australian drama. But for anyone who's watched Wentworth, it's easy to see why this series has legions of loyal fans around the world and has garnered numerous accolades for its cast and creatives. Graeme, tell us more.
Well, Margaret, those fascinated with prison and the terrible mysteries of incarceration will be delighted at this week's return of the highly successful Foxtel original drama. It's now an international hit, broadcast in more than 90 countries, and has itself been remade in countries like Holland and Germany. It's a serial thriller that builds relentlessly, moment by moment, relationship by relationship. And it's an interesting example of the way, too, how in recent times crime fiction has shown itself increasingly open to women and minority groups, and Wentworth, like Orange is the New Black, features the kind of female cast TV rarely celebrates. The critically acclaimed mega fan favourite opens the new season with the prison on the brink of imploding, as the fiery confrontation between two emerging titans, Leah Purcell's Rita and Mari, played by Susie Porter, is imminent after the Season 6 bloody finale. And I was delighted to catch up with Miss Porter, who seems to have survived the chaos.
Mari?
Mari is an incredibly tough, withheld, tough chick. I mean, you do a stare that is as good as anything that Clint Eastwood has ever done. In fact, you're rather like a Clint Eastwood character, the way you silently manoeuvre your way around the prison. That look, do that look for us. Can you do that? Scares me. It's very good.
Look, I think the camera helps a bit. I think, if there's a push in of a close-up and you're just very still, then it helps with that. My backstory that is not really, you don't really go into that in season 6 or 7, but I made up my own story that I am a crime matriarch who owns a lot of prostitution. I run a whole ring. But my backstory has been that I started out on the street, sexually abused. I go and work on the street, become addicted to drugs, and then I hook up with a guy who then we become owner of a racket, basically, and a brothel. So that's kind of how I rose up in the ranks. And along the way, I have got some very high-profile friends in my back pocket with things that I can blackmail them with. So, yeah, gets other people to do her dirty work, and she's never been in prison before either. So in season 6 is the first time she's ever been in prison. So, I'm kind of quite new to that. But then, because I'm a survivor, I can adapt to my environment very well.
A lot of this is played in extreme close-up, I noticed, in this first episode. It's very, very interesting to look at. And this is contrasted to the ensemble scenes in the yard where we might have 20 or 30 actors milling around in a fight or a display or something. So how do you handle that kind of photography?
I think it's important to have those close-ups because, you need that. You need to get right in there, into the eyes, into the whole face, I think, especially the emotional scenes.
I often used to get a bit sort of confused with the close-ups, particularly if they went on. I'd stop thinking as the actor and start thinking as me, and not quite sure whether I should be looking there or should I, how do you handle the close-ups?
Look, I know what you mean because I can get slightly self-conscious. Like when it's a wide shot with everyone and you're shooting the master, you kind of feel quite free. And then I think as an actor, sometimes you can get in your head and go, oh, we're coming in close. Oh, God, I hope it's not overacting, or I hope it's not too much, or am I acting kind of, in a small box? But I just think it's like anything when you practice, you're able to do it. And sometimes better than others. But I think when you're doing something like Wentworth, because you're on set all the time, you get a lot of time to hone your craft in front of the camera, so to speak, So you just get used to being in front of the camera, and you get used to that the camera's like your mate rather than, it's just something you feel, try and feel at home with. But I think on my first day, whenever I start a job and it's my first scene, I'm always like, oh, God, I hope I can do this. I hope.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, you always think a little tiny thing in your brain that goes, gee, I hope, God, I hope I can do this job. I hope I can pull it off. You're always wondering about that.
So just do that one last time, that stare for us.
Should I stare at you or down
just
the
stare at
nose?
me like you're going to kill me. Oh, no, that's enough. Thanks. That's great.